My name is Vanessa McDowell. I am the CEO of YWCA Madison, where our mission is to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. We pursue that mission in three ways. We have race and gender equity work that we do, housing and shelter, and job training and transportation. This has been quite a year. 2020, as we all experienced, obviously was not expected. I think it took a lot of adjustments that we had to make. I've been really proud to see how we have come together as a staff and being able to just be flexible and adjust to these times and being able to still deliver the tip-top great service that we always do, but in a different way. And so we have spent a lot of time trying to figure out how do we still lift up our values in this time? How do we still deliver the service that we do? How do we still do it with thought and care?
A lot of the families that I'm serving, they have never been homeless before, or they've never needed food before. They've always worked, they've always been able to provide for their kids. So with the pandemic going on, they not working as much or not working at all, so they need that extra assistance. I would say advocating is the biggest piece. I connect them to resources as far as food resources, emergency assistance, rental assistance, things they may need for their kids as far as clothing, shoes, boots, all types of things like that.
Through YW Transit, we are running 4 programs. Our biggest program, our most popular program, is our Job Ride program. That program assists people that are low income and have barriers to transportation and getting to work, get to work every day. Because of the pandemic, we've had to make changes to our transit program. We have installed plexiglass barriers in all of the vehicles. We've had to remove seats to allow for social distancing, and we've put in place new policies and procedures for sanitation and cleaning to make sure that everyone's safe. We've also implemented a mask mandate so that all passengers and all drivers have to be wearing a mask while they are in the vehicles. We really took the time to hear feedback from our drivers about what it would take for them to feel safe to operate the program. A lot of our drivers gave excellent feedback. With that, we were able to put new precautions into place to make sure that our drivers and riders were safe.
The riders are really happy that we're still providing services through the pandemic. Well, I deal with about 4 senior clients, and they are awesome people. I take them to the food pantry, doctor's appointments, grocery store, Walmart runs, just different runs. And I have one lady that every time she gets in, she's so grateful because she used to have a friend do it, and sometimes the friend wasn't available. And so she's just so grateful every time I take her. She's a very sweet lady, and I'm glad that we actually opened up this service to people, because a lot of times seniors don't have a way to get, to and from places, and then they have to pay all this high taxi cab fares, and taxis don't want to do what we're doing. And so they are really grateful for this service that we have.
The need during the safer at home, the isolation of social distancing, people more than ever wanted to connect with each other. And so the opportunity to be able to provide spaces for people to share what their experiences were. And keep in mind, this is at a time over a summer of continued state-sanctioned violence on Black people, people of color, men and women. And so one of the things that we were able to do was have conversations, particularly with people of color. What does it look like for healing justice in a time where we're continuing experiencing harm? I would say for some people, their empathy, their compassion has awakened. I would say for others, they have gone back into ways that continue to be harmful to our youth. And so that's an opportunity for us to connect and go deeper in our work and being able to use these times as far as ways we do not want to return to business as usual, and also ways that we want to highlight and uplift the strategies that adults in the buildings are using to connect to our young people, to keep them feeling stronger in their sense of belonging in their schools and in the education system.
I think one of the things too that reigns true in our downtown building is, our residents. They're our stakeholders. They're our investment. They're who we do this for. And so to have a building of over 100 people during this time and making sure that we're keeping everyone safe has been a challenge, but it's also sort of been, I would say, like a blessing to be able to see how things are working. We haven't had very many cases of COVID in the building, which has been a miracle. But I really attribute that to the amazing staff that we have and making sure that our residents are safe with their mask and wearing their mask in public spaces. Also making sure that the folks that we have that are doing our cleaning in the building are doing an excellent job.
For me, working in the Y feels like helping people, and I have several occasions when new residents move in, and the expression on their face is like wonder what it is here. Is that an opportunity? When I'm there and I'm saying hi to them and I show them that it's a safe place to be, and after a week or two they're living in the area and they're smiling, they are working, they are feeling safe and comfortable, that's very, very unique for me to be part of that transition for our residents.
Most recently, we have started developing offerings that are responding to the differentiated needs and the differentiated learning that is needed for people of different races. And that has actually been a need that has been very emergent in this year. We know that 2020 has been a year of reckoning and a year of really deep shaking. It didn't matter that we had a plan before. What mattered was the conversation that needed to be centered. And in that conversation, the spirit of the movement for Black lives and the profound call to defend Black lives was unavoidable. And it was through these conversations that the idea, the invitation to center Blackness and actually explore what would that mean? How would a summit center Black voices, Black joy, Black imagination, Black excellence, Black grief, centering Blackness? And when we set that orientation, I and all of us that are collaborating for the summit started connecting and trying to find voices that were speaking about this call. And that's how, through a podcast, we got to learn about the work of Alicia Walters, who's the director of the Center for Black Thought, and her work and her vision with creating a space that in the present invites folks to center Blackness, and that is known as the Black Thought Wall. I know that the moment that I heard that podcast, my heart moved, and I found whatever way I could to connect with Alicia Walters and see if she would be willing to collaborate with us and to guide us on what would it mean to create a space in Madison, Wisconsin that centers Blackness not as a concept, not as an idea, but as a space that is actually inviting us to engage with it as a practice. And that's how we end up co-creating together with Black artists and racial justice and restorative justice practitioners from here, from Madison, Wisconsin, what is now the first Black Thought Wall here in the south of Madison.
just want to take this moment to personally thank my staff from my heart. It has been a tough, trying year, and it's been a heavy lift for all of us. But I have seen you all show up day after day and push through when I know there are times that you felt like you didn't want to or you couldn't, but you still did. And so I just want to personally take this opportunity to thank my amazing staff. I think I have the greatest team in the world. I might be a little biased, but that's okay. And I just want to say thank you from me for your commitment and your passion and dedication to this work, and your commitment and passion and dedication to this organization. And I know that we would be nowhere or nothing without each of you doing the hard work that you do every day. So thank you.